at that time for over 25 years. With the birth of her son in the mid 70s, she it's what they considered gestational onset, and wasn't a short time after that, and she started having a lot of complications. And to bring it up to date, at that time, she'd already been through 2 kidney transplants and dealt with 3 different forms of cancer, and the list just goes on. And so when Ron came in and said he'd run across something that he thought would help Judy, it just stopped me in my tracks. Now, I respected Ron, even though he was a customer of mine and I was doing a lot of work for him and some of his vehicles. But the reality was he was involved in infusion medicine. He ran a medical software company, and very intelligent. And so I just thought he'd found something out there in that ivory tower called medicine. And most of you probably heard a lot of this story, but to reiterate, that's what turned me around. And I came down this road. The more I found out about it, the less I believed, because, well, to be blunt, it was network marketing. And all I could think about was where I'd been in the past and the failures. And, one thing I knew for some degree anyway, up to that point, a lot of times they would just tell you anything just to get you going. And so I was very skeptical, and I stood off and all but made fun of this for about 4 to 4.5 months. And till finally in October of 98, I was challenged, and I had the chance to go to Dallas. I didn't have the money to go, but I took 3 days off work, and Judy and I went to Dallas. We had the chance to stand out in the halls and talk to people at a major event where there were a lot of people. But the next morning, Saturday morning, they were having a healthcare professionals breakout. It's where they talked to the doctors and all. And I understood you had to have a medical license to get in, and that was somewhat of a challenge. But, as they say, God has a way. And so I ended up into that closed door session, had the chance to listen to a doctor who I don't even know how to explain what he said, but I know this: what I heard was the truth. And for me, that day forward, I made it my mission to share this truth. And within just a few days of getting Judy started, she began to feel her feet, and they'd been talking about amputation and blindness and stroke and all these other complications that, she was looking forward to. And so that began to rapidly respond. Within about 5 weeks, she's having a lot of problems with low blood sugars, and I get her to an endocrinologist, and I'm thinking we've got to get her off this because this is really not good for her. But he cut her insulin by over 70%. And I mean, she just dropped that insulin like a rock and down to about 12 units. And I mean, it was just amazing. And she stayed right there for a number of years. And something went on in the late 2000s. We're not going to get into that, but I knew that things had changed, and Judy's health began to fall back off again. And one thing led to another. And a few years later, Sam Castor calls me, and I knew that he was working with a very unique late generation of this aloe. And but I didn't know the whole story up to that point. I just knew what I knew from the past again. And I was leaning on that for everything I thought this was about. And so finally, he just challenged me again and said, look, I want you to try this. I want you to look into what we're doing. I'd love to have your help, because we're going to put together a mechanism to serve these children. And, that's where we are today with Alovea. That's what we do. And at the heart of everything we do is that ingredient called Ace Mannin. And yeah, it sort of gets me every time. But I will tell you this: without that, you wouldn't be talking to me tonight. I'll promise you that. I'd be still turning wrenches, building muscle cars, and I love doing that. But now I do it for myself, and that's a difference. And so I go out in my own garage and I play with my own cars now. Not have to work on somebody else's and wish I had something. But that's another story. I'll get off that bandwagon, Marlene. But the bottom line is, I live my own life, not trying to survive, do something for somebody else, and then live on the pittance. And I love that about network marketing. And so I want people to understand this movement. And I've told people this before: if you've got a problem with network marketing, it's about time to get over it. This is one of the most spiritual mechanisms in the world. It's connecting and serving people. You're not going to get anywhere in this business if you're not willing to serve other people. And that's just the unique thing. I've seen, slick salesmen come on board and they sign up a bunch of people. And you know what? A few months later, they have a few of those people left, because those people might not be as skilled as they were. So no matter what they could do, it didn't go very far. So my Bible and my book says that we should invest our talents in other people. And for those people that have that level of talent, those sales skills, et cetera, there's a lot of people that we've been called to serve that don't have those skills. And so I want you to understand, you're called to serve and called to invest those talents in those 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 that you may know. And I've said this before as I get into this tonight: from those you least expect are going to come those you would never expect. So what we have drives the mission. You know, the results is what drives it, and it speaks louder than we do. And I can promise you, once we're able to get somebody started to be semi-consistent with this level of Ace Mannin, which is over 5.6 times more potent per gram at half the price than was produced over 25 years ago. And we know that to be fact. We see it in the results and the published studies and everything that is backing it up. So we know that's the core of everything that we're about, is to serve people and to provide that level of sustenance, not just substance. You know, there's a time thousands of years ago when a man was given the provisions that would be needed at a time when the world would be in great famine. When we look at COVID, we look at all this rampant virus, we look at all these things going on today, and it's not as necessarily the fact that we have some weird new unique strain of virus, and that's true. I'm not arguing that it might be an advanced situation than what it used to be, but I will tell you this: people are sicker. Their immune systems are decreased to the point that they're almost immunodeficient. And it's to the heart of every level of disease and death that we see today, from cancers, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, and psychotropic issues. The body needs to be fed with the things that God gives it or says it should be given. So when we talk about Alovea, we support those areas that are important in human physiology. And I consider this our physical mission of salvation. So when I talk about the mechanism, and I'm going to pull up this PowerPoint here just to show you how the simplicity of this works. You know, I've had some people say, well, I don't like binaries. And well, you know what? I don't either. They all have their fallacies and their problems, but so do the stair-step breakaways. So do the forced matrix and all the other plans that are out there. But with technology today and computers, we can combine the best of the best. And this aspect, this 2 by total volume, is what serves the masses. And leaders, of course, know how to put them together to work to their benefit. You know, even if somebody just knows one person and you're able to help that one person begin to grow, all of a sudden they've got a long line and they may think, well, gee, you know, I'm only halfway there. It's not working for me. No, you're halfway there. You just think about this, just helping one new person get started and make 10% of the volume off of just that one leg to infinity until you hit about $10,000 to $15,000 a week. Now, I know some of you want more than that, but not everybody's as greedy as Marlene. Let me just say that. Okay, I said it, but the reality is it's possible to those that believe that. And I know not everybody's, you know, looking to make that kind of money, but that's okay. A lot of people would like to get that extra 200 or 300 because today people are just struck. They don't have, in some cases, their jobs anymore. The restaurant they worked at has been shut down and will never reopen again. Sure, they drive a car, they're trying to deliver food or in fact be an Uber driver or something, but you know, it needs repairs and they're at the end of their rope. So people need business and they need money. And what our business does is allow people to build something that is sustainable, not only in their health, but also because it serves other people. So we build snowballs. That's what I tell people. So Marlene, I'm gonna try and pull up this backdrop here, as they call it. I'm not the best with technology, but just let me know and make sure that you can see that. You see that okay, Marlene?
Yeah, it looks good.
When I get into the mechanism, I just want to show you the simplicity of it. I'm not even showing you but barely a third of the bonuses that are available. When I get into the bonus structures, and I'm not going to get into all that tonight, I just want people to know there are 3 basic bonuses with this company. There's a bonus that will be paid, several of them, 2 or 3, just helping you set your team up. You'll make a hope bonus and customer acquisition bonuses. And if that customer comes back and buys more, you'll make a retention bonus. So you can make all these little upfront bonuses by just putting your team of maybe a couple social business partners or more, or maybe just 2 or 3 customers. But that sets up your team and you're paid to do that. From there, when you get a couple of social business partners started, the next level pays you for helping them set up their team. And you're able to participate in their team volume and their team bonuses. And also when they register somebody and they're earning a hope bonus, up to a certain level, you're participating there also. So it behooves you to help them sign up new people to get their business started because you are actually being paid for that too. And then overall, as the volume begins to accrue and continue to grow, then we are paid on the volume of children that are served based on the numbers of dollars that are in your organization. And what I mean by that, at 2K, you're serving about 30 children. At 5K, you're about 75 to 80 children. By the time you've reached 10,000 in volume, you're serving over 150 children every single day. And then when you get to 20,000, now you're up to 300 to 400, 40,000, you're over 600 children. And then, the first goal, of course, is to get to the level of ambassador. And at that level, you're serving over 1,000 children every single day. And so the goal is to get you to move through 2K, 5K, 10K as rapidly as you can. And that's what we help people do here. And there's what we call accelerated bonuses for doing that. So your goal in the first 28 days is to become a team builder. Now, let me stop a minute. I want you to understand these 28 days, because the day you get started, if that's a Monday, the following Friday will be the completion of your first week in your 4-week cycle. Now, we cycle every 4th week based on the day we get started. It's not everybody on the same day of the month. We start a new period and we start over for another month. It doesn't work like that. So the day you get started, if you happen to start on Thursday afternoon, then Friday evening at midnight, your first week closes. Saturday morning begins your 2nd week. And then, of course, the following week on Friday closes that week, and the next Saturday starts your 3rd week. By the time you've moved into your 4th week and you've actually completed that Friday night and you close your 4th week, Saturday morning, your 1st week will drop off and you'll have 1 more week to reach the next level. You'll be carrying 3 of the last weeks with you. And so when you think about that a minute, I might have just confused some of you. That's okay. It took me 90 days of Steve Burns telling me the same thing over and over until I had enough volume where it finally clicked. And I went, wow, that is simple. You mean if I only get to, 16,000 or so this week, and I've built this up for the last 3 or 4 weeks, then next week I've got 1 week, just get the additional up to 20K. I don't have to start over from zero. And he said, yes, that's right. So I want you to understand the opportunity of how easy this plan works and how to begin to cycle through your business cycles. And actually you do anyway, because the day you get started, it'll start whether you understand it or not. But I want you to know some key things in that first 28 days. Number one, becoming a team builder means you have accumulated at least $700 in total qualifying volume. Now that could be what you buy yourself personally. That could be you buying a couple $100 and having 2 or 3 customers buying a couple $100 each. You could sign up a couple of business partners, 1 or 2, or a couple of customers. It doesn't matter. The total of your customers, your personal purchases, and your new qualified, social business partners that get started and purchase product all go toward qualifying you as a team builder. And I can show you an easier way to do that. And we'll get to that in the latter part of this presentation. But that's the goal, is to become team builder qualified in your first 28 days. By doing so, you're able to earn the team builder rewards. At 2K, you'll receive an additional $250. That's over and above everything you'll be paid along the way. At 5K, an additional $500. And at 10K, an additional $1,000. So you can see by accelerating through 2K, 5K, and 10K, that's an additional $1,700. Now, don't misunderstand me. That doesn't have to be done in your first 28 days. What you need to do is accumulate 700 in volume in your first 28 days. Those accelerated bonus team builder rewards are available anytime in your career with Alovea. So whether you make it next month and the month after, it's irrelevant. But in order to earn them at all, you must be team builder qualified in your first 28 days. And there's many ways to get there. You may have a lot of people that would want the product. And so I'm going to kind of reduce it to the ridiculous and show you how to get started with just purchasing one product and helping some people do that. So let's just say that you actually get started here and you set up your flex ship for at least $100 or more per month, because federal law requires you to have active participation to receive compensation. In other words, you don't purchase product at a minimum amount, then you don't earn a commission. And that's, again, federal law requires us to have some level of participation. For Alovea, it's a minimum of $100 of product per month. Now, in this example, I've got $120, but like, for instance, here in the US, a bottle of Celebrate runs $119. That's $120 in qualifying volume at that level. Let's just say you purchase that bottle, or maybe you purchase just one other bottle and it's only 115, or a couple of bottles for 130. It doesn't matter. But for this example, we're going to use this number. And let's just say that you help 3 customers, just purchase that same bottle of product. And by doing so, you see here in this little box, we have something called 1-2 free program. And what that means is if you have 3 or more customers, the total purchases of all the products that all of them buy divided by 3 will give you an average. In this example, obviously, with 3 buying $120, the average is going to be $120. So that will immediately come off of your own personal purchases. So now you can understand what 1-2 free is. So you get registered, you in fact help 3 customers get started, and in fact your product is shipped to you, no charge. You simply pay the tax and the shipping on it. So that's how the 1-2 free program works. And some people might serve a lot more customers. And I'll show you your limit here in a little bit, because you can only earn up to $300 in credit through this customer program. And that's in addition to the other customer acquisition bonuses and things of that nature that will come into play. You also get started with, helping a couple of social business partners. That's why we say you and 2 is all you do. Because in order to activate your left and right team, you help 2 people begin as a social business partner. And most people just prefer, obviously, just to get the membership for $39.95, and that gets them the position. It also gets them a couple of bags of Hope Pops. So essentially, for nothing in return but a couple of Hope Pops, they're able to get positioned in business for themselves. So this example right here with 3 customers and 2 social business partners, you can see by just adding that up, you're now at about $720 in volume. So you have accumulated enough to become a team builder at this level. But it in fact took about 3 customers and 5 social business partners, each buying 1 product. So that's about 5 people, doing exactly what you do. Let's move this to the next level. From there, you can see that if those social business partners help a couple of people do exactly the same thing, we're not going to get into the customers in their example, but just adding 4 new social business partners, each of them just purchasing 1 product, you can see now that you're right about $1,200 in total volume. And you're about halfway, or a little over halfway toward 2K, but you're not quite there. And now you're looking at 9 people in your organization, and you're really just a little bit of the way there. You move that 1 more level, and you can see that you've accelerated right beyond the 2K level, and you have now earned that first 2K bonus. And so that's kind of how that system works. And obviously, let me back this up just a minute. You can see, with the numbers of people that it took just to get you to 2K. And so you can see, when you think about getting started here, and you're looking at, first of all, helping you get your products paid for, as well as maybe earning a little money to offset the cost of your products on down the road here, it's going to take a fair group of people to begin to make that happen. But let me show you the other way that most people have chosen to begin with Alovea. Most people begin with a premium impact kit because it gives them 2 of every product that this company has to offer of our key products, gives them a chance to kind of broaden their scope as to what we have to offer, sample most everything. Obviously, it's got the Celebrate, it's got the Immune, the Balance, and the Daily, which are 4 key main products. Also the Limitless and the Fix and the Fuel, which are very highly sought after products. So those are some of our most popular products, and they combine them in this premium impact kit. Now this kit right here happens to be the Australian Asian kit, because over there, they are of course not allowed to have the Entourage, which is our unique blend of hemp oil. And so the US kit actually has a bottle of the Entourage, a couple of bottles of the hemp oil, but that of course is not allowed in Canada and UK and other parts around the world, only in the US. So what I want you to understand about this is that instantly qualifies you as a team builder. Boom, you're there, just the day you get started. And so from there, you're qualified, you're able to earn those rewards virtually immediately as you help your team begin to grow. So what we're going to do, we're going to help 2 social business partners do exactly the same thing and help get them started. And by doing so, you're going to earn a couple of Hope bonuses. You're going to receive that 2K bonus, which puts you a little over $450, in your pocket, and you're already at 2K with just you and 2. So you can see how you accelerate through the system by helping people get started with something that's more beneficial for them. Because that premium impact kit doesn't just come with a lot more product, it comes with a deep discount. You're getting close to $1,100 worth of product for $6.99. So I want you to think about that. That is our best value. And some people today are even choosing what we have is called champion packs of the immune, because their desire for that ace man and all the things that they see in the news today is just off the charts. And a lot of people are buying that by champion packs. And you're able to get a discount on those when you purchase them for the first time. And so each of these premium packs also come with a small discount when you get started the first time. So that's the best way. And so you can see you've already accelerated to that level. From there, we're going to turn around and bring the customers in as this example. Now, I'm just using an example of $350. And most customers, if they're going to be a customer, a lot of times they don't spend that much. But on the average, just to give you the example, if you had 3 customers and each one was buying, about $350, then you can see that that would add up to about $1,050 divided by 3, obviously, is $350. But 300 again is the cap. It is the ceiling in the amount of credit. With 3 or more customers, 300 is the most that you can actually earn. So from there, you can see the difference in what you may pay if you bought a $700 pack just that one time. And let's say you turned around and bought that again and you had 3 customers. This is what can come in beneficially to help pay for part of that. So a lot of people just take advantage of that. And so from there, you and 2 and your customers, you've already surpassed 3,000 in volume. Your qualifying volume and each level is way up there. And so now you've earned, a $100 team bonus. You've in fact earned those same $350 in hope bonuses, the 2K bonuses there. So now you're close to $700. And that's just you and 2 and a few customers. And now you can see you put your money back in your pocket. Now you're in the green, you're in the black. And from then on out, it's really about building profit in your business. And by doing so, what you do is you turn around and help them do what you just did. And by helping 2 people, one on your left and one on your right, reach that same level I just showed you of 2K with you and 2 and premium impact kits, that moves you straight to 5K, which of course is going to put about $1,500 in your pocket. We've seen people do that in 10 days to 2 weeks. We've seen people pull this off in their first week because they had a lot of following with people that, were right there with them. And so just know this, once you've made 700, it doesn't matter how fast you get to the next level. It's all up to you and how fast you want it. But you'll earn that same level of bonuses as you continue forward. From there, you can see by helping your 2 social business partners reach the level of 5K, you in fact are now over $2,500 in total rewards. And I want you to know that I've left many rewards out. So there's a lot more than what I'm really showing you here. And somebody said to me one time, under promise and over deliver. And I can promise you, when you get in and see this begin to accrue and begin to grow, I think that's what you're going to experience. You're going to probably see and experience more than what we're trying to show you here. I just want you to see how the mechanism works because it's just that simple. And let's not complicate this. I know there's people that are strong in leadership and they're able to help a lot of people get started. I always encourage everybody to just help the one on the left and the one on the right, help one more person, and then help that person get another person started. I work what I call the endless chain, because once people really understand how this mechanism works and how simple it is, and you've already built an organization down half of one side of them, literally they have half of the business built, and you can turn right around and help them build the other half with just one new person that needs what we have. And so that's how we lead and serve people. And we lead to their benefit. We serve them to their benefit. But, it all works back to us and our benefit. So as you continue through these ranks, you can see as your levels continue, as it continues to grow with each generation, you can see that, at the 5th level, you're over 60 plus people. You've certainly reached over 7,000 in qualifying volume. Your next level, you've gone over 15,000, and it just begins to accrue from there if you just look at that chart. So when you get to 80,000 in total volume, you're probably looking at, a tremendous return here. And over here on the left in the bottom corner, you see that serving red 75 and 150 and 300. Those are the numbers of children that are being served at each of those levels in your business on a 28-day basis. Every single product serves a child for 28 days based on the servings in that bottle. So when you think about that, at each level, we begin to reward you from 100 to 200, 400, 800, 1200, 1600, and it doesn't stop there. It continues right on up. And our goal is to help everybody complete that, what we call the 5K run, and help everybody get to 5K. Helping everybody reach that simple level obviously will accelerate everybody through the upper levels. You know, when you reach the level of 20K, we'll take you all expenses paid to Leon, Mexico. You'll have a chance to sit down with President Fox, the previous administration of Mexico several years back, and his wife, Marta, who support and run Vamos Mexico, serving children all across Latin America there. And I got to tell you something, this is a couple that not only would you be honored to sit there with, but you find that are such amazingly humble, down-to-earth people. Literally in the boyhood home where he grew up, San Cristobal, which is his hotel that we stay at. So from there, you're able to go into Charisma, which is a center for medically fragile children. And I just got to tell you something. It's something you have to walk into to begin to experience. There's nothing I can say that will touch you like those children will. So and that's just the beginning. You know, when you get to 40K, there's another location we're going to go to. And last year it was Cancun. Obviously for 2020, nobody's really gone anywhere, but we're looking forward to 2021. And we're looking forward to a lot of you being with us. At the level of ambassador, we take you to beautiful Hawaii. We sit down at a leadership summit, and we counsel and work with those that are at the top of leadership with this company. And there's no limit of how many people can come, and there's no door that will keep you out if you choose. So it's all about, again, serving too. It's all you do. So I'm going to close this down here, Marlene, and stop this, and we'll kind of move on here. So I think I've rambled my piece here for tonight. I don't know if there's any comments or questions that have come in or come up. I'm open. I can't really read the chat and talk too, but if there's anything that has come in, Marlene, or anything that somebody'd like to unmute themselves and speak up, it's all yours.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff,
I just,
that was,
Yes, sir, Ken.
sorry. I really love your guys' concept of, you know, having a certain amount of servings when you reach a certain level. I think it's brilliant. It just makes you feel part of something bigger and greater. You know, so it's a great vision.
Well, I'm so honored that I came up with that idea. You know, I just thought about that a long time, and no, I wish I could take claim for all this or any of it, but I didn't. I just followed the leader, and that's Mr. Sam Castor, and I'll certainly pass that on. He's been known to pop up where you least expect him to. So thank you, Ken. I appreciate your words.
can I have the link for the recording, Jeff?
No,
So
Anna,
I
we can't
can-
let you have that. I'm sorry. I was told not to give you any more recordings. Yes,
No more recordings?
I promise.
Aww.
Don't let
I
him-
need the
don't
people
let him give you
listening to it.
The link will pop up. So,
Don't listen, Joanna.
Okay. I got problems sending the samples. I got the names, but I'm stuck. I don't know.
you know, serving people is one of the
The
simplest things
samples?
to do, but it's absolutely not the
Yeah.
Do you need help with that, Anna? You can call me. With getting the samples out?
Jen, maybe you could get with her.
line is open. We've been about 30 minutes or so into this tonight, and
Hey, Jeff,
yes.
it's Dave. Hey, I've had several people asking me questions. And these are folks that are just asked. They're not even involved yet, but this conversation's coming up. I think it's important to point out about the vaccine. And they're saying, should we get the vaccine for COVID? Should we not get it? What should we do? And I just want to say, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what vaccination you've ever had or are going to have. If your immune system's functioning properly and you're putting the right components in that immune system, whatever toxins that might be in a vaccine, whatever effects a vaccine might have, you're going to be a lot better off and a lot smarter to have ACE man in your system before and after you would take that vaccine. So I know for some folks are worried about them mandating the vaccine, forcing people to take the vaccine, but we have something in the ACE Mannin products that we have that will absolutely give your body the ability to, weather whatever comes at it. So I just want to point that out, that as this vaccine comes out and They're talking about 20 million people getting it in January, 30 million people getting it in February. That's a conversation that needs to be had, and that's something that we, exclusively have the best Ace Manning product on the market out there, best in class, no doubt about it. So very important to mention that.
I want to mention something. If your immune system is not modulated, as a child, we didn't know that I had hereditary immune disease, and I got a polio vaccine, and I ended up 5 years from the time I was 7 till I was 12 in a hospital at Mayo Clinic, learning to rewalk, and I was Sister Kenny Institute before that. So that vaccine, because my system was upregulated, I got it. My children, when I had, one of them got smallpox from the vaccine, another one got German measles. That was because they didn't know we had a gamma-globulin problem. So they didn't know we had upregulated immune systems. So people have to be careful. They've got to modulate, and that's why the ACE man is so important if you're going to get any type of shot like that. Because I wore for years, I wore a bracelet, immunoglobulin reactive syndrome minus gamma A, and in my records it's written across no vaccinations. So they can mandate all they want, but I'm not having but now my immune system is modulated. One question, Anna talked about the sampling, and the sampling is going wonderful, but I'm getting a lot of people saying, where can we register those that we give samples to that we don't have the company send out? Can we count those people?
I didn't know you could send them out that the company didn't send out.
Pardon?
You mean buying the samples and just sending them yourself?
No, we may just bring a bottle and you give somebody 4 of them, and you give them the paperwork and you talk to them and stuff. I've had several of my downline leaders ask me that, and they don't know if those qualify or if you have to buy it through the company in order to qualify for your 25.
The only tracking that is done is on the ones that are done through the sampling program with the company and the app.
So you do have to do it through those.
It does, yes. And one thing I want to mention about our sampling program is, for whatever reason, Verb, the app company, you can be in Australia and send a sample to the US, but you can't send anything from anywhere to anywhere but the US. I don't know why, and they're working on that. So don't know why that is, like I said, but what we're actually working to do, and I brought this up to Sam, is see if there's a way that we could actually purchase those sample packs in more of a bulk, 10 or 20 of them at a time, and that we could just actually even in the course of a day hand one out and put our handwritten information on it if we want to hand it to somebody we're talking to, or maybe just send them in the mail ourselves if we have a way to do that. And so there is consideration doing that. The funny thing was, he said, well, that's their program that they put together, so they do that, and that's how they do it. We don't want to invade that, but we're looking at a sampling program that is mirroring just like that, so we can do that, so we can just buy samples and just kick them out. I just think those little samples are phenomenal. I think they're great.
That's important, because I talk to people all the time, and I'm giving samples out to them, but I don't want to say, well, wait a minute, I'll mail you one. I want them to have them right away.
Yeah, that's true. And so true. And, but the reality is in a sense, because of all this distancing and all, the thought was maybe it would be a way for somebody to still reach out for the limited, face-to-face that people do have. And, that was kind of the thought there. So we're just looking at options to expand that sampling issue a little bit better.
Really push on that we can buy. I still want them to send them out. I want it trailed. I love the whole system. But when somebody comes up to me, like today, I want to give her a sample and be able to right there, not.
True.
not wait till she gets it in the mail.
Great minds think alike. There are some people in the works thinking that same thing. Yes.
Mhm.
I did the same thing, Jeff. I sent the couple. I sent them one each, but I only could send one at a time, and so maybe I done it wrong. But I would have loved to have sent like 10 samples, because especially with someone that's got a big team that I know of, and you want to send them like 10 samples, and they give it out to their guys that live close by. So I'm
Exactly.
glad that I'm glad you mentioned that. Uh, you mentioned that. The other question I wanted, I'm not too sure if you guys do it, or if it's an idea or something you want to do away with, but I see a lot of companies, when people have reached certain rankings, they have templates or images to say reach 5,000 or reach a certain, so they can post it on their social media. Do you guys do that?
Yes, sir. They do. 2K, 5K,
Okay.
10K, 2080, and those templates are actually in the Hope Movement back office page that you can just
Okay.
save and go in and post them and use them at will for all that. And that's what we try to do.
All right.
I
Thanks,
think
Jeff. Thanks
he's
for your
talking
time.
about putting it on your site, that like putting an ambassador symbol on my site. I think, is that what you're talking about, Ken? Or just congratulate someone?
It's just a lot of companies, they have a template for you to put in. Sometimes you put the image of your face there, and it says he's ranked ambassador, golden ambassador, whatever the layout of the company is, just to, so that people are attracted to that success, and then they go to that person and say, what business are you part of? So it seems to work. So
Mhm.
it
Right.
worked for me in the last company. So
Did me too. Yeah, we're presidentials. Yeah.
I would go back to the question on sampling. I don't know if anybody was asking this or not, because there's kind of two different ways of doing it, but you can actually go in the app and select to send a sample, and then select a name. And then when it comes back up, you can select another name, and you can order multiple samples at the same time by doing that.
You can. It's good news.
Yeah, I played with it a little bit, and I was able to send 2 samples at once, and I'm sure I could have sent as many as I wanted to.
Okay, good,
I've
Mark.
got a lot of people that are requesting and would love to have the chance to buy 25 sample packs at one time, and to use them to send locally, and even to run by and leave with somebody if they wanted to do it that way, to get a little more hands-on with it as opposed to just sending it through the mail. So there's a lot of requests for that. And believe it or not, a lot of people love the app. Some people don't. Some people are like, well, I don't figure this app out. Well, to me, it's really simple to some degree, and I'm kind of a techno idiot, but some people don't. So, but they want the samples, and so working hard to have a separate source of those.
I haven't tried yet to order a sample with the same name multiple times, but I was able to order for 2 different people that I was sending to with different addresses.
Okay. It's good to know. Any other comments? I see a lot of people have joined us since we got started, and just an honor to have so many people try and plug in and listen to what's going on here. It's a work in progress, and we have yet to round that corner. I think we're just about to, I believe, make that turn in that bell curve when we start up. And 2021, after what people have been through for 2020, I think people are ready to stand up and shake it off a little bit. And I know we're still challenged in some ways to meet together, but I think people are getting more creative on how to get around that. I think for myself personally, and I know Marlene and a lot of us that have been around for a little while, you too, Jan, and Mark, but we're looking for, what can we do better? And Dave, I know you're on it every single day. And, every time we turn the corner, it seems like, it's just a new day. And so again, we're working every day. And some of the challenges that this COVID has presented have been things that we didn't even expect. And a lot of it is to do with just the flow of the product. And thank God that we've been in a situation where we have, lost manufacturing or packaging or some of those things along the way, or the manufacturing would be dead in the water. And so being the unique form of nutrition and the locations that produce it, we've been able to continue. And now we're trying to transport. And, you know, I just commend all of you down under that you've just stepped up here. And yes, I know it's crazy to think what's going on. Even a product produced in New Zealand that takes as much as 28 days sometimes to get into Australia, which to me is like right next door. So, but we're working through that. And due to the leadership with Chris Gregory and a few contacts that he has there that are in the import-export business, they're helping us work through some of those channels. Again, you know, you pray, you look for favor, and God answers. And that's what we're beginning to see happen. Sam is on that. And so we believe with some help through Singapore, as a matter of fact, and some distribution efforts, that we can get this solved really dadgum quick. And that's a nice way to put it, but we want it over with yesterday. So people need
Yeah.
this product and they want it.
Can I say
Yeah,
one? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the reason New Zealand's so strict, Jeff, is because they've got so much to protect. They don't have anything poisonous. Their fruit is their main source, their vegetation and everything else. So that's why they're so protective about anything going in there. So
Can certainly imagine. Wow. No kidding. We have to respect that. That's for sure. Let's get through all this.
I want to
we
say,
have-
okay.
Go ahead, Jan, please.
I just want to say something about the sampling. I didn't realize how worthwhile it is until this weekend. I was looking at some people on Facebook and that I go back and forth with on Messenger, sending things to each other. And I asked them a favor. I said, would you do me a favor? Our company has come out with this new product and they want to test it. And I would love if you would test this product. And if you do, if I get 25 people to test it, 200 kids will get fed the nutrition. And I had one gal, or I had two, they've been in my site, they've been gonna buy, they're just so excited. And they were two people that I would never have talked to, never would have, but because I could ask them a favor, I felt comfortable. And so I went through my list and I had 80 some that that are definites that I want to get a hold of. And some I'll call, some I'll just, text to or whatever. But boy, it's just working wonderfully. Just have to have more time. But just go through your list. And my sister, she said, oh, I'm going to go through my class list. She's 80. And she said, I do the party for our class every 3 to 4 years. So she said, I know where everybody is and I'm going to go through the whole class. They're getting up there and their spouses are, so I'm going to send those people samples, but I'm going to do like you did, either call them or carry on back and forth with Facebook or Messenger or something with them. And to be able to know, hey, they've looked at it, hey, they've gone onto your site, hey, they went to your ordering page, it even told me. That's a lot of work off of my shoulders.
Yeah, and if you want to really grasp the leadership of Jan Cass here as an ambassador with the movement here, and what you're hearing is how you serve 1,000 children every single day. She is relentless in the best way. She is nonstop in the best way. So I know when Sam called me, Jan already knew what was going on. So did Shalene. And it seemed like in a matter of minutes, I was told to get going here. So Jan, I thank you for leading. So you stepped in on my team there, right there with Shalene, right about the same time. And you guys grew to China. And so it's just another example of how we get where we want to be, is the quality of the leadership that we serve. And so I'm just so honored. I know that the general sitting up there on the clouds next to God Almighty himself and thinking 1,000 children, he's cheering you on. And I remember his orders when he just about was ready to leave this earth a few years ago. So
If you know better than that, he's not sitting on any cloud. He's at the banquet eating.
right.
Thank
Well,
you,
I can
Jeff.
ramble on and on and on. The line is open, and this is your meeting, not mine.
Open your.
I moved to a senior building, oh, sorry, a senior building, and I would like to get some advice on how to, you know, I'd love to help them because I don't like them to be in adult home or assisted living or, so I need some
Anna,
help.
Anna, I've talked to you quite a bit, and if somebody in her upline wants to do it, that's fine too. I don't know who you're under exactly, but just give me a call again. We
Okay,
can talk. We've got time. I've got time. There's a lot of things since I've talked to you that have come up that we can help you with that type of home where you're at. So
yeah,
I'd love to help you out.
And I think that
Okay,
you and
thank
Jan
you.
really scratch out some details on how to move forward. So you're talking to the right person there. If there's anybody else with us before we go here tonight, I'll stay all night. Most people have to kick me out, but I don't want to keep you ready to go. So anybody has a comment or question, the floor is yours.
I just want to encourage everybody to open their cameras up next time. And when we're talking like this, I'd love to know who you all are. I know who you are, Shalene. I know who Mark is, but there's a lot of Gavin Ward. I have no idea who you are. Doug, I know you. But when I want to put a face to the name so that when I go to a meeting, because that's going to happen this year, and see these people, I want to be able to say, hey, hi. And sometimes we just have a telephone number on here. And Dave, yeah, I know you. Dave? No, Kenneth. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kenneth. Hi. Yeah, and we're a family and we need to get to know each other. Oh gosh, I'm getting results. Thank you, Ida. Okay,
I don't know how to make my picture big though. I just keep on staying at the corner and I don't want to distract the presentation.
go down to the left-hand side of your screen and it looks like a movie camera, and just hit on that and that will open up your picture.
See, I don't have my picture.
And you don't have to worry. I've been out cleaning my sunroom and sweeping my brick yard all day and working, and I haven't even combed my hair. So don't worry how you look. It's just to know each other.
No, it's I don't know. See, I got my picture at the bottom, this corner, and I want to make that big like yours, guys. I don't know how to do that.
Well, I don't know
I'm-
that's for sure. I know that if we can get a chance, when we're offline and maybe get on, hopefully can help you through that. It may be that you do not have a camera because I don't see that you're calling in on a device that might have a camera. So we can figure that out.
You're on your phone, yeah.
Okay.
Here that Steve, are you with us?
They've got
Thank you.
good.
I'm here.
They've got.
Go ahead, Ken.
I'm just saying they got good Zoom tutorials on, that teaches you where all the buttons are. They take you through it. It's quite simplified.
What kind of
It's,
phone do you have, Anna?
Oh, I'm using my iPad.
iPad.
I
Oh,
have,
your
I have
iPad.
an
Okay.
iPhone.
Mark, he's my go-to guy.
As we rolled in the last part of this call, we're about 54 minutes into the hour, but Mr. Steve Burns just joined us, and I know he's had some things.
Okay.
So he slid in the back room here before we got off. And so, Steve, I know you're with us. Steve, for those of you that don't know, Steve is works directly with operations and has worked extensively with helping international related issues and just helping everybody over there. When you talk customer service for Down Under, for the most part, that's been Mr. Steve Burke. He's also involved heavily with product formulation as co-formulator. And I would say he's part of the muscle behind the movement when it comes to structure and function to make sure things keep going. And when there's a circumstance that comes up, he's the, I hate to say the go-to guy, but he's the guy that goes and gets it done. So make sure that it's all working to our benefit. So Steve, I know you're on the call with me. I know you just slid on the back end of this, but we just covered a little bit of the movement. You and two is all you do. And I think you know how that works. So I'll just hand this to you for a minute if there's anything you want to add.
Well, Jeff, first of all, I want to say hi to everybody on the call and tell you I apologize. I actually lost track of the time. I mixed up Sunday and Wednesday. I thought I was getting on at the beginning of the call. So that's okay. Listen, what we're doing here is so important. And we have an opportunity here. I was just in Costco just a few minutes ago shopping, and another woman, two people back from my wife, was saying to the gentleman she was with, well, you know them, they were doing multi-level marketing. And he says, oh yeah, they were nice people, but all they kept talking about was how to get rich. And whether you're building a mansion or a mission, it takes money, right? But the bottom line is that's not what we do here. We're not one of those deals. We are different. We are a social business 3.0, and we base our technologies in science. We don't scrimp on things. Our products are expensive to make, and I get that. But we do have a way to reward people for building teams of teams. But you don't ever hear us talking about yachts or big houses or cars, because the truth is the average person is not capable of that. That is the rare person in the industry. And you can count the amount of people that make a big check on one hand. That's just the facts of the matter. But I do believe that anybody that wants to put a little effort into this can make an extra $500,000, $1,500 or more dollars a month and make an impact in people's lives. And some people, like Jeff, like myself, like a few of us, were able to do this full time and make a really good living at it. But to me, it's not work. This is not a job. What we do, what we share with people, what we get paid to do, we get to do this. That's how I look at it. Wow, we get to do this. For me, it's about a mission of health for people that we know, and to touch the lives of people we even don't know through other people that we do know, and to be able to make an impact in the lives of these kids. To me, that is a really cool thing. And I don't see that opportunity anywhere else. I mean, I guess there are people that can go and earn big checks in different companies, and then they can pay out of their pocket to help support kids. But the ripple that we're able to create here, what we're able to do just as individuals, just by sharing, is an amazing, amazing thing. And I know your ripple is way up there, Jeff. Jan Cass, bless her heart, she's about to go over 1 million. And when Sam and Linda Castor started Mana Relief in 1999, it took 10 years for them to get just over 7 million servings generated for kids through the donation model. It had nothing to do with, buy one, nourish two. It was actually, please donate and we're going to nourish children. But in just a few short years, we've gone over 28.5 million. And I believe that before the month is up, we will go over 29 million servings generated. And that's nothing to sneeze at. And you know who really loves that? The kids that we've gotten to interact with in Mexico and in even other countries, that it makes such a huge difference in their lives to hear from the caretakers, to hear from the doctors. And even the doctors don't quite understand the technology. I remember we were in a cancer clinic down in Mexico, and the woman had no idea who I was. She didn't know that I helped formulate the powder that the kids were getting. And she's talking about the magic dust, and she kept calling it magic dust. And And, I'm kind of smiling a little bit. And then she talked about the fact that they had to stop giving the kids, once they got past the treatment, they stopped giving the kids the powder. And I said to the translator, whoa, 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 whoa. You can't tell me that as soon as the kids are cleared from treatment that they stop taking the powder. That's not right. They shouldn't do that. And so she asked me some questions, and then I told her who I was. And she said, the doctor said, well, the problem is we don't have enough to go around. And that made me want to work harder. That made me want to share more and work with more people. And, I already don't sleep much because for me, this is a mission. This is more than a job. This is more than a cool thing to hang out and be part of. It is a cool thing to be a part of this movement. It is a cool thing to get to hang out with like-minded people, but understanding the importance of what we do, it just makes me want to get out there and do more. And seeing those kids, interacting with those kids. I know Shalene Van Wyk, she breaks down practically and she's not even afraid to do it on stage. She just breaks down going into what she witnessed and experienced with those children. Jan Cass has been down there a couple times and she wants to go every single time we go. And Jeff, you've been down there. You understand that. Dave Osborne, a lot of the people on this call have been down there and gotten to experience that. And that's why we make that part of our incentive trips. We could do cruises and things like that, but to be able to have people go down there and experience firsthand what this mission is doing for these children, to hear from the doctors, that to me makes this just that much better. It is the icing on the cake that we get to do this and we get to actually enjoy doing it. So Jeff, that's it. I rambled on a little bit there. Sorry about that. I'm going to throw it back to you, and blessings, everyone. Look forward to seeing you all again very soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Steve. I wouldn't want to add anything to that. I think Steve said it best. The importance of what we do overrides everything. And again, the blessing is something that we have for others. And so we have just begun. And we're thinking hard about 2021. Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Sir, this is Jan.
Okay.
One more comment. I'm kind of yucky tonight, but I've worked with kids that have been sexually abused, physically abused for years as a crisis counselor. And what's happening right now, politically and everything, we're going to have thousands upon thousands of kids getting released from the sex trade. And we've got to be ready to help them. So we don't just have the malnourished. They're malnourished, but we've got a whole lot more. So we've got to be an army, and we've got to go out there and get these servings for them. It's so important. It's going to happen really quick.
Out there because, Jan, it is children, but
Yeah.
children challenges in so many areas. And even Vamos Mexico and Marta Fox and what they have done is not only just the children, but they're also experiencing some elderly people that are in incredible need. And so they're branching their reach to extend in both directions. And then our partnership with Operation Underground Railroad is just incredible, because you're right. As this begins to grow, and let me tell you, the awareness of the problems with our children in that arena is not only absolutely disgusting, is going to gain a lot more attention. And so they need a place to go. They need a place to repair. And so I just
75 kids up by you, Steve. We're just pulled out. I mean, it's getting ridiculous.
everywhere in the world. And
Yeah.
our
And
job
so
is
we've got to be ready.
our job is working the mechanism of change. And I believe as we move forward in our spiritual mission of salvation, in our belief systems, at least mine, I'll speak for myself there, I always consider this to be our physical mission of salvation. This is something we can get up, think, and identify and act on to make a difference in people's lives. Sometimes the the difference you're trying to make in one person's life just doesn't seem like a lot. This is not mass marketing. This is not fishing. I've said it before, we're like snipers. We think and we plot out and we set our time best when we can best reach out to touch somebody, because everybody is worth just that much. And I'm not talking about the return to us. I'm talking about the return to them and what they're looking to achieve. And, today people are looking for something. I don't even know if they believe it's even here. They're praying about it. They're on their knees looking and they don't know where to turn. And it seems like everywhere they turn, what they hope to be true is not. So again, let's be that little glimmer, that light. And as the book says, let your light shine so that you glorify everything that we do to our Father. So that's our mission, and it's a physical mission. So we're coming into the holidays here. We've got to take advantage of the opportunity to touch people. Meet us again next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll get a little bit more into product. But we're always here. As people come on board, and we can work to your benefit. So as I've said before, you're not helping me. I serve and work for you. And we're all collectively not doing this with God's help. God's doing this. We're helping him. God bless.
Jeff,
Put that in writing, Jeff.
how do we access the recording?
Don't ask
How
me.
can we
I'll find
access?
it on my email shortly, and I'll put it out somewhere. I promise.
Thank you. I'm in Lori and Brian's group.
Yes, absolutely. They're well cared
Great.
for, and they care for their people well. We'll make sure everybody gets it. So
Thank you so much. This was good.
blessings. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Jeff. God bless.